the pressure that you feel to make the most of your life is the biggest thing that is actually in your way.
Cody, look up inside the camera.
See the doggy?
I recently heard a quote that said, "Our greatest fear shouldn't be failure, but rather succeeding at something that doesn't matter." And that got me thinking, how many of us are doing something in life feeling like we're succeeding, but missing the mark? Doing something because we've always been doing it. Doing something simply because it makes money. And while I know there could be huge debates about what success means, what failure is, what does it mean for something to not matter, I can't help but read that quote and think about myself and wonder, am I succeeding? Am I failing? Is what I'm doing with my life, where I'm going, does it matter? Last week I posted a video called the Stanton Project. It was basically my public creed to tell everybody, hey, I'm confused on where I'm going in life, and I want to bring you into it as I journey through trying to figure out how to live life to the fullest and as best I can in alignment with who I was created to be. And if you ever stumble across this video or ones in the future, just know that in this journey, the Stanton Project, I'm not really ever going to have answers for you. I'm just going to be letting you into what I'm processing in life, what I'm feeling, and where I feel like I'm going and how I'm working toward that, things I'm learning along the way. If you come to these videos to find some nice adage or savable quote, you probably won't find it. And maybe that's why you should stay, because you've watched all that stuff on Instagram Reels, you've saved them a million times, and you never go back and look at them. But what connects the most with humans? Story. And watching other people's stories and seeing ourselves reflected in them. Because truth is, none of us really have the answers. And as I'm learning this week, the journey is about taking the next step, no matter how small it is. You see, I don't know where you're at in your journey of life, what your age is, or anything really about you. But where I'm at in life right now is where a lot of people start to get really comfortable with life. They get married, they have kids, they get the job, they get the house, and then they stop. They stop growing, stop wondering, stop considering that there could be more. They stop being curious about things. They stop asking questions. At the same time that people are stopping all these things, they start doing other things. Start becoming bitter, start becoming depressed, start letting regret seep in. They start turning to substances to numb what they're feeling. They start accepting as a part of who they are that the hand that they are dealt is their destiny. And for some reason I really like saying this, I don't have all the answers, but I do know one thing. I don't want any of that. I don't want to settle, and I don't want any of that to become a part of my existence. While I don't know the end goal, I'll start taking baby steps now. Something I've been thinking about this week is, what does it actually mean to take a baby step? Like, practically, what does that mean? And so what made the most sense to me to get the gears turning was to go back and look at the most practical way of looking at baby steps that I could. Watching myself learn to walk. And as I watch more of this footage, it's not hard to find out the end of the story as I slowly learn to stand up on those two little fat, chunky, wobbly legs. I learned to walk. And then after I learned to walk, I learned to run. That same person that I am now, back then, learning how to walk, learning how to stand up for the first time, learning how to run. You know, I remember vividly when I was a kid, I wanted nothing more than to be grown up. And I think it's pretty ironic that so much of what we embodied back then during that time of our life is exactly how we wish we functioned as adults now, with a childlike mentality. How did I have the confidence to proceed forward day to day as a kid, fully present in the moment, without worrying about the future, without worrying that I wasn't running? Why wasn't I confused? And that same question can translate to where I'm at now at 32 years old. Why don't I have the confidence to proceed forward, fully present in the moment, not worrying about the future, not thinking about the past, giving everything I got to right now? Why am I confused right now? And I'll come back to this question here in a little bit, but for now I want to dive into some areas that I'm actually practically taking baby steps in. And while I can't cover every area that I'm working on right now, there is one that sticks out that I want to talk about, and that's preparing for the alignment experience. This entire project embodies the spirit of baby steps, in my opinion. You see, for years, Boomer and I have been meeting as friends, gathering at the beginning of the year to set intention for our new year, just us with a couple of friends, and that's all it's been. But over time, we've noticed that we've had more of a desire to make this something that involved more people, and that's what we're doing now. We're inviting 50 people into an experience called the alignment experience to set intention like never before in a space with other like-minded people to build community around that. We took something that we were naturally enjoying and naturally already doing and started taking small steps to actually make this grow and to make this a reality for more people. We honestly don't really know what we're doing. All we know is that it gets us excited and it's something that we want to do and we're giving it our all. And because of that, it's bringing us so much joy. And in light of that, Boomer flew in this week so that we could make some content for this thing that's kind of hard to explain to people. And so a few days ago, we gathered where we're going to be hosting this experience. We got all of our speakers together, kind of set up this podcast-esque setup thing, and just started recording us talking. One of our speakers is Jonathan, who just so happens to be Boomer and I's therapist, one of the most sound minds that we know. While we were talking in this little podcast setup thing, Jonathan knows me really well, and the conversation shifted to this confusion that I'm feeling and the pressure that I put on myself to figure things out in the midst of it. And this is what he had to say about it.
Because I would say to you, the pressure that you feel to make the most of your life, that pressure is the biggest thing that is actually in your way. Because you have to let that go. You're attached to the pressure of needing to be somebody. And I'm telling you, you already are who you are. You are somebody. The pressure to figure something out, it creates noise in your mind that doesn't allow your spirit just to be. And that noise delays your spirit knowing it. The elevated sort of anxiety around I need to make the most of my life, that's noise up here. Would you agree?
I'm going to be honest, it'll be hard for these videos to ever really have a conclusion, as this journey is more so revealing clues about where I should go rather than any answer to what the destination is. And so going back to this question that I moved away from earlier, why can't I have the confidence to move forward, fully present in the moment without worrying about why I'm not running yet? And again, I don't have the answer, but I do have clues. And that's what I'm going to go off of. And these clues tell me this. The clues tell me to embrace my childlike self, to take small steps each day in regards to my relationships, health, and my work. They remind me to let go of the pressure that I put on myself to figure it all out and to trust that I am whole just as I am now. And the clues are also very clearly revealing to me that the people that I put myself around in my life is of the utmost importance.
I feel you are in a stage of stopping to find that river and claim something. But then once you have that claimed, you're a very dangerous person. It's scary how much you'll go after something. Honestly, more than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. I can feel the energy in you, Yeah, only you know what that is. I can't tell you that. Only you know how to find that too. I can't tell you that. Jonathan can't tell you that.
Yeah, or well, maybe part of the puzzle is figuring out how to find that. Maybe it's focusing less on what it is and figuring out more of how to approach how to figure it out.
That's it.
Our greatest fear shouldn't be failure, but rather succeeding at something that doesn't matter. And in making this video, the final clue of the puzzle that was revealed to me is this. Success for myself as Cody Stanton Giles happens when I am Cody Stanton Giles. When I take the pressure off of myself to stop being anything other than I am right now. Success for me shouldn't be about running. It's about walking one step at a time as my truest self. If I can somehow manage to focus on that, I don't believe it possible for myself to fail. And if you can join me in learning to do the same thing, I think the same could be true for you too. Maybe we could both take steps each day to just be where we're at each day, alive in who we are, grateful for the person that we are, and not putting pressure on ourselves to be more than we are right now.